Well, that was pretty amazing. You hit the video. You have to kill the broadcast to turn the video off.
The
What a
broadcast is now starting. All
I know
attendees
that.
are in listen-only mode.
No, they're not. They're hopefully out there. What a dumb UI that is. Sorry about that, folks. Been dealing with bad UI all week on a client site, and man, oh man, just want to grab some designers and say, what are you thinking? And I'm unmuting everybody. If you mute yourselves again, we will get right underway. And here we go. And Victor, welcome, Victor. Okay, so. And
What do you say?
hello, hello.
Hello?
Everybody
Hello?
everybody mute themselves, please. All right, here we go. And our first one up is this photograph right here by Ty. And Ty's mission statement is, I just headed over here, capturing the ordinary and making it extraordinary. And I want you all to think about your mission statements whenever you're shooting. I think I said on the video, I have mine in my camera bag just as a way of reminding me that I photograph the spaces between the feelings of a gesture and the moment that may be lost. Now, this is not a vision. I mean, this is not a mission statement. I don't share my vision statement with my clients. My vision statement is something for me to keep myself focused. So this is the shot that Ty did. Okay. We have the young lady at the desk here. Now, Ty, is this, you know what? I'm going to go through these. We will come back. I think I've got a lot of people here. I better get everybody undone here. And Sally, get everybody unmuted here. All right. So I'm going to go through these pretty quick, and we will come back to those ones we have to look to. I'm looking at this shot, and I like your depth of field here. I think it's Gabby. Gabby, if you'll mute yourself, please.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody mute themselves until it's time to chat, and that way we won't have any crosstalk. Okay. We're still getting a little bit of something from somebody, but I can't tell who it is. Everybody take a moment, look at your screen. If your microphone thing does not have a line in it, click it, please. All right, that seemed to do it. Okay. The exposure on this is a little under, and the reason I say that is the eyes are just a little gray here. We're also missing the separation of the head from the background. Now this is a nice little portrait shot of someone sitting at a desk in front of some I don't know what those are, wine bottles or some sort of bottles back there. So that's pretty cool. But we got to make sure our exposure on her, she looks a little ruddy, and that is, I think, because we're just a little bit underexposed. Got a nice little spill over from here that's given us some shape and contrast and dimension right here. Nothing adds dimension better than a nice specular. So what's what we've got here? We'll find out later how that was lit when we come back to it. But I think that we've got some exposure issues, and also some Photoshop to smooth out the face, not to we're not going to take her and make her a beauty queen or anything like that. That's not what we do. But skin will always give us back different anomalies, especially in the summertime. Skin holds, what's the word, UV rays, and UV rays are not even the way the skin holds them in. We won't see them with our naked eyes, but our cameras will, and sometimes that'll give you these little, where it's like a little patch here and whatever. That can just simply be from sun. So come back to that shot. This one is Patrick Matthews. Let me see if I can find Patrick's. Doo. 'Cause Oh, Patrick, I'm not finding your not finding your vision statement.
Oh, I posted it up before.
I'm sorry.
Either? Oh, I posted it up earlier today, but I got it right here.
Did you post it on this page?
I thought I did.
Okay, I don't see it.
Uh,
Sorry.
oh.
Okay, go ahead.
To create images that make people say "wow" by capturing a personality, telling a story, or giving the viewer a new way to look at things.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one. I mean, that's well rounded. In fact, I think it's probably too much. So
Okay.
I like the wow. Let's leave off the viewer new way of seeing things, so we can
Okay.
get it down into something really small that you can just keep in your head. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Uh, cool shot of this gymnast apparently to
Yep.
illustrate that. Now, is this young young lady that you know, or you're at the
My
gym?
daughter.
Your daughter? Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Um, Whenever you're shooting, especially now, do you see this little patchy area here?
Yep.
That probably does not show up on her. It's probably UV from her being outside in the sun. Is she tan?
Okay. No, we nicknamed her Casper because she's pale.
Ah, so it doesn't take much sun at all to get into her skin and give you those little patchy things. Watch
Yeah,
this
probably
right
not.
here. Clone that right there, and then
Yep.
that little. This is that little. My wife's my kids are ice skaters,
Oh,
so
okay.
I know all about this stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to take this one out. This you
Yeah.
leave in because that's
Okay.
just natural. That
Yep.
is absolutely what happens. But that you leave in, and then if you smooth out the legs a little bit, that's pretty nice. Your lighting is very nice, by the way.
Thanks.
Um, got it looks like a soft. Is this just natural light, or did you light this?
No, well, I did it outside.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty strong backlit. With I had umbrellas and foam core and stuff, just trying to block some of the stray sunlight that was coming through. And then um, I had just a strobe on a 24 by 24 softbox
Mm-hmm.
that I just basically was more fill, but just to try and even things out.
So you took there's a black card behind her then?
It's actually I want to say it's not felt. It's a black fabric
Okay.
background that I use, but I had to use all kinds of other stuff to make the sun not be as invasive as it was when I
Yeah.
first started.
Yeah. Totally get it. Absolutely. And since we brought you on, I'm going to go ahead and go back to Ty. Ty, are you with us? You are. Hold on, Ty. Hold on. And Tony,
Yep, I'm
I
here.
just unmuted you, so if you'll mute yourself, please. So, Ty, how did you like this?
I just used I had an SB900. This was up in Jerome again at one of the wineries.
Uh-huh.
I just had a SB900 with one of those little Westcott soft boxes,
Mm-hmm.
and I gelled it with I want to say it was a quarter cut of CTO,
Right.
and that was it.
Okay. Now, this is daylight.
Yes.
Okay. How big is that little softbox? That's one of those like 6-inch by 5-inch things.
It basically velcros onto
Yep.
the SB900.
Okay, I'm going to give you some very bad news.
Okay.
They're worthless.
Yeah. All right.
And the reason is, see how tiny the catch light is in the eye?
Yeah.
So all they basically do is they just make you a diffuser. They don't change the size of the light source. And that's what we
Okay.
need to do. So we still get that sharp defined shadow. It's just a little bit diffused at the edge. I'm gonna recommend two things to you. I mean, this is for everybody.
Okay.
And I hope you guys all know I'm not a gearhead. Okay, I'm not. But the Westcott Apollo 28 or the Orb or the knockoff. There's So you can buy the Westcott 28, or there's a knockoff version of it.
Okay.
Either one, something around the 28-inch size is really going to change your portraiture, because then we go from a dot in the eye to an actual box in the eye. And when that happens, we get such a much more even light. Now, I don't have the knockoff, but I've heard that it's very good. I'm not pushing you guys to buy knockoffs or not. If you don't buy I don't buy knockoffs, but I don't tell other people not to buy them. Money is what it is. But either one of those, and the Orb is kind of an octabox that works with your speed light. Both of them are absolutely fantastic lights, and we need something a little bit bigger to do these portraits. But and had you done that with the 28, it would totally change this up. Okay. Because that little small softbox is great for, like, if you have to do a wedding and you have to, a little strobe, and you have to just diffuse that edge. And what it's doing is taking the sharp edge off the shadow, but it really hasn't changed the shadow much at all. And see how the light stops for wrapping under her chin here? Yep. Fantastic. Message me anytime. If you find something you think, hey, Don, how would this work? Send me a message, guys. I'll get right back to you.
Great.
Fantastic. And
thank you.
I don't remember anybody taking my picture. You must have snuck in really tight there. Who is this? This is Tim Sebring.
Hey, Don, can you hear me?
I can. A little bit closer to the mic, please. What is your you say I make the viewer feel they're inside the shot, experiencing the action in the frame.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the volume better?
That's much better.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of those drive-through safari wildlife things where you kind of drive through in your car and the animals come up and you feed them carrots and pellets. So this is, I don't know if it's a bison or a buffalo or what, but it stuck its nose inside the window, and I wasn't watching it. I was looking outside my wife's window, and I turned around, and that's right in my face, and I just kind of instinctively took a shot at it. But it's definitely an in-your-face. It's kind of one of those things that makes me, like, when somebody looks at it, they put their head back like it's almost.
Yeah, in fact, that's funny you say that, because I did. I'm all alone sitting in my office, and I lean back and whoa.
So that's really what I was going for too. So
now you didn't light this. This is pretty much the sun.
No, it was bright sunlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the actual my camera was completely inside the car, but the window was down. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was lit, outside the car, of course, but there wasn't any direct sunlight on the camera.
Excellent. Well, kind of a cool shot, yeah. And you can't go around photographing all animals like this, but this absolutely illustrates your vision statement.
Thank you.
So, there we go. That's just crazy. Oh, this is a lovely little shot here. Whose is this? This is Shane. Shane, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, this is I love your fog here. This is something I'm working towards. I mean, I live in Phoenix where fog doesn't exist. But I love it wherever I am. If it's foggy, I am out shooting. I just absolutely love this look here. Where is this?
Eureka, California.
Ooh, I've been there.
Come back, we got lots of fog.
Yeah, this time of year you have a lot of fog, don't you?
All year round, honestly,
now,
but yeah, especially in the late summer.
Is this right on the coast then?
Yes, a little bit, further back beyond that fog. It's just ocean.
Okay. So what is your vision statement?
I think it was to explore, connect, and enjoy the mystery.
Oh, okay. That works pretty well with this image too, doesn't it? Yeah. Now, is this I imagine it's all natural light. You're not strobing the beach unless you've got
No.
some really big lights. What is this back over here?
That's probably some Sitka spruce.
Okay, so it's not a. For a minute there, it looked like a factory or something.
No, nope. Unfortunately, that'd be more towards the east, but that's just some trees.
Okay, beautiful. And all the only footprints on here are small little animals.
Human animals, but also small animals too.
Oh, those are people tracks.
As far as I remember, yes.
Oh, so they're way over there then.
Yes,
So
sir.
okay, wow. See, I'm losing scale. That's kind of cool. I like the shot, Shane. I really do. Um, I would, if I were shooting this shot for my portfolio, I would probably take them out.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of landscape shooters would say, "Oh, never do that. You know, you've got to find it pristine. You never touch it up." We're commercial photographers. We touch the heck up out of everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I'd take those out because right now they are kind of like the story.
Hmm.
And if we take them out, then the story becomes more mysterious. One of the things that uh, always have to deal with when you're on the beach, especially with models, is when you're standing there, the model will walk straight out towards the place where they're going to be shot, which of course then means they're not going to be shot there. We have to move down the beach. So I always tell them to stop, walk way down the beach, come back up the other side of the sand dune here. I don't care if it's, a couple of 100 yards, and then walk towards me to get in position. Then I have pure sand in front. I can touch that little stuff out and back. So
Hmm.
with models, we'll always watch out for footprints. Beautiful shot, Shane. Scott Martin, rock and roll. Scott, are you on here today? I'm not hearing any.
Hi,
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
hear me?
there you are. There you are. And what is
Is the
your?
volume okay?
Yep, absolutely. What's your vision statement?
Um, what was it again? Hang on.
I'm in search of fun, bold, or exciting.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. I don't want you to be in search of. I
Okay,
want you to show.
okay,
Or be. I am fun, bold, and exciting.
okay.
Okay.
Yep,
Um, because if we change, and all this is important because it's how we think. How we think gets changed into how we shoot. So we don't want to always look for. We want to already have found it. So studio shot
yes.
and multiple lights, right?
Yeah, I had a couple strobes on the background,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a strobe in front with the 50-inch Apollo.
Okay. That's a beautiful light. What do you have in the 50-inch Impala? Is that speed lights in there?
Yeah, that's all I have right now is
Okay.
speedlights.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about the Apollos is that you can put larger lights in there, and you just can't put pro photos in there because they're too damn big. Uh, uh, the coolest thing I've seen with the 50s are like the Dynalights. The Dynalite heads will fit right in there. They're so small. Or the Elinchrom Octa, or what are they called? Elinchrom. Uh,
The Rangers, or
Not the Ranger. The little Quadras.
okay.
They're so small they'll just sit right in there. Nice shot, Scott. Now you're we want to see some fun, bold, and exciting stuff coming up.
Okay.
Absolutely, seek it out. Nat Seymour. Nat. Oh, Tracy Sutherland. I'm unmuting you. If
Right
you
here, Don.
Yes, sir, Nat. What is? I can find it over here if it's up here, but you can tell us if you've got it.
My vision statement is visual riddles told in imagination, detail, and light.
Okay. This shot works pretty well for that. Did you light this or did you find this?
This is entirely lit with two strobes. I had two strobes outside. One was key and one was fill, and so I could control basically how strong the contrast was from that ratio.
Okay. This is a very strong portrait, Nat. I have a feeling. Who's typing, by the way? Is that Nat?
Sorry, that's me. I'll stop. I'd like to take notes while you're talking.
Oh, that's fine. If it's you, I don't care. If it's someone else, I want to mute them. But if you guys are typing, that is just fine. I like the shot. Obviously, you're an experienced photographer. Am I right?
I like to think so.
Okay.
Not as experienced as I'd like to be, though.
Okay, because this is a very sophisticated image for a lot of reasons. This box over here with this whatever it's wrapped with is so mysterious. It's like, what the heck is that? You know. Well done, really, really well done. I'm going to get real picky on you. Okay.
Please.
I would love to see something lighting up the inside of this wall back here behind his head. And if that light was coming from this direction, splitting this, because everything's coming from the right, you got this, and your contrast, by the way, opening up your contrast, you did that fantastically. What we've done is we've lost his head. I don't know if that's wrong or right. It's one of those things where it just is, you know. I think some art directors would like it, some wouldn't like it. Here's my problem with it. If I go to print with this, right, for a magazine, that's just going to be a big blob of goo up here, and we're not going to see it. So I don't want you to light his head. That would be the obvious thing to do. What would be not obvious would be to put a little spray of light maybe coming down here behind him. And if you could grid it up like this, all the better. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not trying to tell you how to make your shot. I mean, you can do 100 other things if you wanted. I'm just saying some way to let this head come forward from that background and just give us one more layer of depth to the image.
Okay. That makes great sense. And the head, I'm looking at it now. It's like, okay, where does the head end? So that is a key thing.
Yeah, and part of the focus that we are, you know, as commercial photographers is, you know, our pictures are going to end up in magazines or on the web, you know, for other people to use. If this goes to a magazine, that would be a real problem because it would just block up. It would just be black ink across there. And we wouldn't want that. And then the art director is going to go in and try to fix your image. You don't want that either.
No, it sounds like it.
Yeah. Now sometimes they're awfully darn good at it. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes they're awfully good at it, but in many cases, in smaller magazines, they may not be that good at it. And then when the magazine comes out, you have this sort of sinking feeling, like, oh no, why me? So we control all of that. Very nicely done.
Thank you.
Leah Dodrill. I saw Leah up here. Leah's on the phone. How are you, Leah?
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. So we've got this real small little, like, mini house sitting here. And what is your vision statement?
I create photos with intent to record the beauty of life and evoke emotion.
Okay. All right. And you are kind of a location environment shooter, right?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure out my style.
Okay. That's fair. This is a very clever little shot. I love your sunset in the windows. As a matter of fact, I think I probably would bring this orange out a little more. Just to really give it that sunsetty kind of warmth against the cool colors of the overcast sky would be very, very nice. This is a nice little capture of a place. I call these shots environments. I wonder, Leah, and answer me this: What do you think? My thought is it's a little too tight. What do you
Yes,
think?
I wish I had more headspace
Yeah,
over the top of the shed.
we're just, this is coming right up here, and we don't want that. Now,
Hmm.
these power lines over here, half of me would take them out, and the other half would say, "Oh, just leave them in because they are part of the the experience here." The commercial side of me says take them out. The editorial side of me says leave them in. How do you feel about that? What do you think would happen if you took these out?
They were on their way out until I really looked at the reflections and saw them in the reflections and found myself creating more work.
Okay.
So I put them right back. There is one large power line at the very top of the image that did get cloned out.
Okay. Good. Okay.
And it has its matching partner on the upper right-hand corner. I just left that because that's not a focal point anymore.
No, there's no problem with that. No problem with that. Good texture all the way through here. You could. Do you know how to do highlight painting?
No, and I really want to learn that.
Okay, I will. I will do a highlight painting. I've got some videos, some stuff from last week to put up, so I will add a quick highlight painting to it as well. So
Fabulous.
very good. Okay, nice shot.
Thank you.
And we've got Joel. Joel, what is
Don?
your vision statement, sir?
Can you hear me, Don?
I can indeed.
Oh, okay, good. Engage, excuse me, engage, surprise, delight.
Okay. Well, this is kind of a delight, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
From those three, that's this kind of a nice delight. This is obviously natural light. Obviously,
Yeah.
is this a zoo or a farm or something?
It's a farm up the road.
Okay.
It's a guy has a horse farm and he also raises alpacas.
Is that what those are?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They cut the wool and they make, sweaters and stuff out of them.
Cool. They don't make stew out of them though, do they?
I don't think so.
Look at that face. You couldn't make stew out of that. That would be so wrong. Oh, so wrong on so many levels. My suggestion would be to see this gray street out here.
Uh-huh.
We don't need to see that. So either bring it down and then darken this up down about 15%. Darken it down about 15% so it keeps our eyes focused. Our eyes can't go, it gets dark and we come back. Okay.
Okay.
Then now, are you Lightroom or Photoshop?
Photoshop.
Okay. Let's pull a little more texture out of this. And you shoot in RAW?
Yeah.
Okay. The way I get texture in these things, and when you're shooting animals like this, it's so hard to keep it, because as we can all see, if you had darkened the exposure, if someone said, well, we could cut back on the exposure. Yeah, look what happens in here then.
Yeah.
We cut back the exposure, we got a problem here. So what I do is I process two RAW files, and I process one of them down about a stop, drop it under this one in the layer, and then using a eraser brush at about 10%, I just erase this at 10%, and that darker contrasted stuff will start to come through a little bit. And the key is 10%, not 50. And when you do something, you should hardly see it come through, because you want to do it several times so you can finesse it in, and then it doesn't look like you burned it. So, very good, very good. Jeff Mills. Jeff is here tonight. Jeff, this is kind of an interesting photograph shooting up into backlit trees. And I see the sun. I believe that's the sun right there.
It is.
And what is your vision statement, sir?
I capture images of what is seen yet unseen, the overlooked, the bypassed, the unnoticed. I bring them to attention.
Okay, let's just stay with the first one. Say the first one again, the first sentence.
I capture images of what is seen yet unseen.
There you go. That's it. The other part is sort of explaining the first part.
Okay.
And since this is just for you, leave it. Because you can tell yourself that when you get out of the car and you've got your camera, the idea of a vision statement, you kind of repeat that thing to yourself. And it helps your brain to see what it is you want to see. My vision statement's inside my camera bag. So when I open up my camera bag, I see it. And it just reminds me again of what I'm doing. When you open your mind to it, photographs will result. I can remember a great story about a photographer in New York City. His assistant, they were dropping film off somewhere, and his assistant said, what a terrible, ugly road this is. The light's crappy, and boy, you couldn't make a good photograph here. And the photographer, Jay Mizell, said, yeah, I can make a good photograph here. So he bet the assistant lunch. He said, tell you what, if I can't make a good photograph here, I'll buy you lunch and you buy me lunch. It's always all right, great. So the assistant runs in with a film, comes back out, and Jay hands him one more roll of film that he shot while the guy was inside. So the guy goes in and drops film off. Next day, they come back, and the roll of film that Jay had shot was the New York City skyline reflected in a New York City parking meter, and went on to be one of his best-selling images.
Wow.
When your brain is open, when your mind is open to the possibilities, we get images. This is a very lovely shot. Looks very, very sharp to me. I think that's flicker. That's the screen that's doing this. Looks really, really sharp, but I don't see these little black lines, these black things here. I don't see any fringing on them. So I think this is just the way the light is.
Yeah, it was the light, and I used a filter on it too, so that sort of brought some more of the detail out.
Oh, okay. Which filter did you use?
Orange filter.
Okay, fantastic. Now, did you shoot this on film, or is this?
No, I shot it on my 60D.
Okay. Very cool.
Thank you.
And you put the orange filter on the 60D?
No, I did that
in Photoshop. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Yep. Very cool. Gabby Wright.
Hello.
Hi, Gabby.
Hi
Neat
there.
little farm shot here. Nice context. We get the rows of corn, and we get where the rows of corn are not anymore. So we get to see the height of the corn going back to that. I like that. Now,
thank you.
What is your vision statement, Gabby?
I make images with harmony and flow between the elements.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Very pretty. This is, are you looking at editorial work, travel and environments, etc.?
I'm interested in editorial work, actually.
Very cool. I could see this running in a magazine. I really could. It's got a real nice simplicity to it. Nice composition. I would, of course, in your portfolio, you can take measures in your book that you may not take when you give it to a client unless the client tells you to. But in your portfolio, let's clone these little dead areas out here.
Got it.
Right, and let's just make this, right, these little ruts right here. We'll just clone some grass and get that in there, so it's absolutely perfect. Now, if you go out to do a shoot for a magazine, they'll let you know how much license you can take with it. Editorial is not photojournalism, folks. It's not like, oh, we can't mess with the image. Yeah, we mess with the image all the time in editorial. Some magazines may not want you to do that. Right now, I'm helping a photographer pitch a magazine called Modern Farmer, and it's really kind of fun to see how they're working with their photography. They really, really good art directors there, and they expect really top-notch work. So, Fran, and by the way, thank you very much. It's a great shot.
Thank you.
Fran Richowski.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of pictures here, Fran.
Well, I couldn't decide on one, Don, so I figured I'd just throw out a whole bunch of them.
Oh, there you go. So what's your vision statement?
oops. I illustrate people's life stories through images that reflect their personality and spirit.
Okay. You know what? I think I would leave out everything after, before the word, or after the word before, through. So say it again.
Okay.
Just say it again.
So images that reflect personality and spirit?
Nope. No, say the beginning part.
All right. I illustrate people's life stories.
There you go. Bada boom. That's it.
Okay.
The other part's explaining the first part, and you don't have to explain it to yourself.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you walk out the door, or to do a shoot, and you say, I explain, or I illustrate people's life stories. That's that focus that you need, that little bit of stuff. A mission statement is something you stick on your website. A vision statement is just for you and the other 49 people listening. Nice set of images, Fran.
Thank you.
Obviously, you are a working photographer.
I was working for a newspaper until I got cut. So, but I also shoot for a monthly magazine too.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the newspaper industry is a little tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not easy, but
No.
you learn to love it. You really do.
Yeah, I know. Now the next thing is to start developing your own stories.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm working on.
That's what you got to do. Very good. Good job. Thanks, Fran. Dale Frederick. Is Dale on here? Oh, Dale is not on here. See if I can find his vision statement over here on the page. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, so we've got a couple sitting here. It's hard for me to judge it without the vision statement. Looks like the lighting and everything is okay. A little, the light's a little flat, and the wrinkles in the shirt bother me. I would have pulled it down a little bit tighter. That's not a bad shot, Dale. It's not a bad shot at all. It's not, but it's not a shot that's it's not a terrific shot. And we want to really push. So how could you do this? That's my question to you. How could you do this shot and really make it rock? Well, let me ask you this. Isn't this your photograph right here? Cropping off the back of her head, cropping off maybe right in here for him, right? Isn't this really the action? Everything else here is just sort of left. It's just there, and it doesn't need to be. And you could actually come in like right here and just show his eyes looking up at her, and just right in here, really, really tight, because you want to show us something we haven't seen before. You want to show us something in a different way. And I think that sometimes we back off too much and we can come in closer for something a much more richer experience. Carl Cottrell. Is Carl on here? No Carl either. Let's see if I can find his. Work the shot. Okay, work the shot. Yeah, that'll work for now. I don't think it'd be down the road the best one to have, but for now, yeah. Now this is a shot of a car and a group of bystanders, and it's obviously a panned shot. Okay, I'll take that. But I also want to remind Carl and everyone that we cannot just do shots that other people can do. So if there's 10 other photographers standing next to Carl doing this, if they all got this same shot, it doesn't count anymore. We just talked to Fran, who worked at the newspaper, and what happened with newspaper photographers. Fran, can you pop back on? Here's kind of how I think what's happened in the newspaper industry. Spot news used to be the purview of the professional photojournalist for a small newspaper. So if the mayor was speaking you'd go down and you'd get a shot of the mayor speaking, and you know what I'm talking about. Those assignments, those things are now lost because anybody with an iPhone can get that shot. There's not a whole lot into it. So the newspaper editors failed to realize how powerful photography could be, and instead of using their professionals to do long form series, more creative series, they just gave up. They're going to pay for it. There's no shortage of people wanting the news. There's a shortage of people wanting boring news. And so if you're taking pictures that someone else could take on their iPhone, you're in trouble. What do you think, Brandy? Does that sound about right?
Well, the president was here today in Jacksonville, and the iPhone photos were coming out before any of the news media had put up anything.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Yeah.
When the plane crashed in the Hudson, the first 40 images on the newswire were iPhone images, because the professional photojournalists were still in taxis trying to get down to the waterfront. They weren't there. Where the photojournalists should be used then is to do beautiful long form follow-ups. Really let the photojournalists tell the stories, because they weren't needed at the scene. That part of photojournalism is the spot news, the right on the scene. The train wreck last night in Spain. I mean, they have video, iPhones. They have video of it happening. So, it's just changed. Would like to have it change back, but it never will. Thanks, Fran.
Sure.
Brian Lawler, cool shot,
sir.
Brian.
Thank you.
Is this vignette the lighting?
No, I applied it.
Okay. Well, it's applied very well. I like it because you didn't apply it across these guys. So that's why I asked if it was applied. Did you paint these back in?
Yes.
Yeah. Good call. Good call.
Thanks.
Now, is this what kind of light is this?
Well, it's this actually 3 different shots brought together in Photoshop.
Okay.
And so that's my son first, and he's shot with a 43-inch umbrella on a speed light with white cards behind him, and a second speed light kind of up towards the top left, pointing down, really soft.
I'm not seeing the effect of those white cards. Are you?
Not as much as I thought they would.
Yeah. Yep. One of the things I use for I'll use a V card, like a 4x8 V card, which is like a 4 by. Is that what you use?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Though.
And then I'll just bounce the strobe into it.
Oh, okay.
I'll just, because I love the feel of the card, but of course then all you do is dial the strobe down until you just get that little bit, because I am not a fan of let's drive another light from this side and make it look like a cartoon. I like this sort of natural feel, but I do worry that he kind of gets lost right in here. Probably something you can fix in Photoshop by bringing this background up a little bit, right along his chest and arm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Cool shot. So the lanterns are separate, and then the background, and then the young man.
Yep.
Cool. What is your vision statement, by the way, Brian?
I am a visual storyteller, making moments of life in its purity.
Okay, let's just go with a visual storyteller.
Okay.
I'm a visual storyteller, because everything else is a given. You're obviously going to use the light, and you're going to use a camera, blah, blah, blah. But I'm a visual storyteller, which is exactly what you're doing here.
Okay.
Very cool.
Thanks.
And this is Brady Wolf. Brady, nice little still life.
Thanks, Don.
Window light?
Yeah, I put a screen across the window light to diffuse it so it wasn't so harsh.
Okay.
And my vision, and it was basically derived from some of the photographs I've taken in the past that I really like. Vision statement is capturing where the curved and the linear meet.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what is? Do you have a genre that you like? Are you a still life shooter by nature?
Well, I'm still trying to. I just was what I picked up from the 5 photographs I picked out was I tend to be drawn to the perspective and the linear, and then having something in it that is natural and has curves and contrast to that linear nature.
Okay.
So I
Okay,
just picked that up in a number of photographs. Like, wow, I keep getting drawn back to that. So
Okay, so you're kind of going for some geometry, some graphic, some of the graphic design. See, as a graphic designer, to me, this is a very graphic design type of photograph. We have lines, we have this what I would call bass. So we have figure bass, melody above bass, and then we have these little things that break it up.
and actually, I took 2 different shots of this, which were radically different. The other one was more of an overhead shot, which I would say was very graphic. But this one spoke more to me just from the standpoint of just getting those shavings razor sharp, and then letting the background blur out. So
yep, and I love the light on it. I love that really pretty backlight. My suggestion, I'm going to crop. See the top of the pencils. Let's crop them off right to about there.
Oh, okay.
We don't need to see the top of the pencils. We know what they are. Yep.
All righty.
All right. Very cool. Great work, everybody. Wow. This is first time I did the workshop. We had a lot of struggling people. Second time, not so many. This time, you guys are great. This is really going to be fun. Such good imagery all the way through here. This is Blue Rock Creative. I don't know who that is. Blue Rock, are you on here?
Yeah, it's Bob White.
Bob White, okay. All right, Bob, what's your vision statement?
To make inspired images that transcend time.
Okay, all right. And this lighthouse is where?
Actually, it's South Haven, Michigan. It's on the Lake Michigan shore.
And there's so many people out here, they actually had to elevate the thing so the guy could get to his lighthouse.
Exactly.
So he had to
all
push
those sun worshipers.
Yeah. That really kind of tells a nice story. Light is very nice on this. The silhouette of the lighthouse and stuff. And you know what? Without the people, it would be kind of what I call a calendar shot. That's cool. It's real pretty and everything. But with the people, you really get kind of an interesting perspective of the size of it. You get an interesting perspective of the humanity out there on it. And of course, you put the sun right behind it, and the sun is, I take it, pretty much in the water, right?
Right at, yeah.
Just never.
I had a series of these shots where the sun in different positions as it was setting, and.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you shoot on a tripod or are you handheld?
Let's see. This was done on a tripod.
Okay.
I have a monopod that I use also, but.
I'm hoping everybody has a tripod. If they don't have a tripod, try to get one by September, October, because we have some things coming up where you're going to need a tripod. So if you don't have a tripod, start putting some pennies away to get a tripod. Tripods are very important in digital photography, and we will be showing you why. Really, really nice shot there, Bob.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Okay, this shot I recognize. Is this in here by mistake? Pat?
Yeah, it looks like that went in by mistake.
Okay, you have another one in here, right?
Yeah, we did it earlier.
We did. Okay. Sorry about that.
Problem.
At least, well, it's not your fault, folks. Not your fault. It's my fault. I guess I didn't clean out that folder. Um, Julie. Wow. This is so nice, Julie. Where are you? Unmute yourself. Are you here? I see your name, but your mic's still muted. Julie, there we go. Hello?
Okay. Yep.
There you are.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about this. First, tell me your vision statement.
I use light and composition to create emotion.
Julie, for you, I'm going to cut it to one word.
Okay.
Emotion.
All right.
What, did you think I was going to cut it to the word and?
I don't know.
Just emotion. Okay, let's just stay with that. Because the light and everything, it's sort of understood. But this picture is pure emotion from the lighting all the way through. Now, what I'm really noticing about this shot, lighting wise, is all of our lights coming in from this window, but she's beautifully lit back here. Is this a fill card or?
Actually, there's a white panel behind and on the side. It's like a door that's painted white.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you're consciously using it for your fill?
Yes.
Wow, beautiful young lady. She's very pale, and it goes with all the styling, the orange and everything. What was the point of this shot? What did you want to do with this?
What did I want to do with it? Well, I was just trying to do some natural light and looking out, having, the emotion.
Yes, there's a different kind of emotion that is implied in a photograph when the subject is not looking at you.
Right.
It's almost like they're allowed to have their emotion. One of the interesting things is all over the world, no matter where you are, when you put your camera up to your face and you're pointing it at someone, they will smile. And they've found that to be pretty much everywhere from, the Far East to the Middle East to Africa, Canada, everywhere but Detroit. But I think there's probably something else going on there. But but she's looking off, she's not smiling, and there's a story to be told. Very nicely done. I don't know what this black thing is across here.
Oh, yeah, that might just be the, I don't know what that is actually. The cropping. Might be my cropping, sorry.
Yeah, we'll kill that. Lovely shot. Lovely shot, Julie. Who is the young lady?
Thank you. She's actually my daughter.
Your daughter. Okay. Lovely shot. Is she posing for mom a lot?
When I can get her to do it.
Is she old enough to drive?
Yes.
Yeah. So you hand her the keys and say, "Oh, but just before you go."
Yeah, right.
Nice shot, Julie. Beautifully done. All right, and we have another portrait here by Blair Mann. Blair, sir, are you? I see you there. We're not getting You're still muted, Blair. Unmute you there. Oh, it unmuted for. There we go.
Are we there now? Okay,
we
good.
are there.
So you can hear me now, Don?
Yes, I can.
Good stuff.
Okay, Blair. So your vision statement is?
I capture the image hidden behind the mask.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's go.
Now, it's interesting because looking on from your monitor, it doesn't. The colors aren't as vibrant as they are on my screen. But anyway. I'm
a very non-vibrant guy.
Okay, I don't believe that.
Well, it's coming. Well, one thing, it's being recorded, and I've noticed that the recording on I just wonder if they lower the color rate for the recording so that they
Maybe
can,
because on the original that hair just snaps. It's just and it got a lot of contrast in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. Okay. Pretty shot, natural lit.
I had it was actually in a gazebo in a rose garden, and I had a 5x7 gold reflector on the ground in front of her.
Okay.
It was sort of angled up, and that's
Okay.
you might see the catchlight in her eyes from that.
All right. Do you use strobes or anything outside or no?
Yes, I have done, but this one I wanted just to work with the reflector.
Okay. Let me show you. Let me pick your picture apart just a little bit here, okay?
Sure, please.
We have very smooth arms.
Yes, she has very porcelain skin.
Porcelain skin. Then when we get to her face, this is what I call a complex face. We have light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, right? So the face starts to get all this complexity in it where we really don't want that complexity. This is where, and gold reflectors are not not my number one choice. I want you to take your gold reflector outside and notice that you can aim the light with it. I'm Italian. If you guys could see me, I'm actually twisting around, holding a non-reflector kind of doing. But you can twist it and you'll see where that light goes. When you flip it to the diffused white side, everything's diffused. You can change the angle 25 degrees. It doesn't matter. Because what we want to have happen is this young lady, skin is what we call moderately efficient. In other words, it will reflect what's around it.
Mm-hmm.
We want her to see that white reflector and have her skin reflect that reflector back to you.
Okay.
So that big white diffuser right about here, right out of the picture, would be enough diffusion to really open up her face. And you'll find this even in the shade. It doesn't matter because we're not bouncing light. We're providing something bright for her face to reflect.
So if I had that to the left of her in the gazebo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And just like I say, I use foam core. I'll use those white reflector board. I find foam core, the real foam core, not the cheap foam core you can get at the dollar store. Even though I would tell everybody go over to the dollar store in your town and get like 2 foot by 4 foot or whatever those sheets are. They got them for $1. Grab 6 or 8 of them and throw them in the car. They always work great, but they're a little matted. They're more matte than the foam core is kind of more of a polished white paper, and they'll give you more snap than the other ones. Yeah, and try that out. Now you can fix this in Photoshop, but it's a bear to do. And
I can understand that.
Yeah. And the thing that always happens is if the tip of the nose should set the tonality for the face.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Great stuff. Thanks, Don.
All right. Very good. And we have something that looks like I feel right now. This is Anne's picture. Anne Mohammed?
Yes.
What in the world was that, Anne?
Hi, Don. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
What is your vision statement?
Okay. I'll just read it out to you. It's I want to see and capture the beauty in the ordinary, the normal.
Let's just leave it. I want to capture the beauty in the ordinary. Okay?
Okay.
Normals, yeah. I capture the beauty of the ordinary. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is a very popular vision statement for a lot of photographers, and that's what they set out to do. And we remember their shots. This is a very lovely shot. It looks a little soft to me. Is it soft, Anne?
It looked different on my computer though, but
Okay, so it's sharper on your computer than it is here?
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That sometimes happens. Oh, it's nice. Oh, I see. It's nice and sharp up here. Here we go. This is really sharp up here. This is really nice. So this is a tree that's
Like
is it molting?
It's a tree trunk.
Like, it looks like a snake that's shedding its skin or something.
No, it's a tree trunk.
And natural light, obviously.
Yes.
And are you on a tripod when you're shooting these shots?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, depending on yes. But most times when I do those shots, I use my tripod. Yes.
Do you find for yourself that you compose differently on a tripod?
I tend to take my time.
Yep.
And kind of think about what I want to shoot.
Yep, I'm the same way. I just did a day with the tripod and a day without the tripod when I was in New Mexico.
Okay.
And I take different pictures when I'm on a tripod. I really do. I think at the end of the day, I have more winners on the tripod than off. I have more imaginative photographs off, but I don't have as many winners.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's something to think about. We do tend to, if we're not on a tripod, we do tend to rattle them off pretty quick. Sometimes it's nice to just slow down, Now, at the end of the day, when the light's moving fast, I might be not willing to slow down that much.
Okay.
Nice shot, Ann.
Okay, thank you.
And this is Brent Davis. Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've got our that's the Milky Way out there.
Yes.
Did you count the stars?
Not exactly, no.
I hear there's more than 1,000.
Possibly.
Yes. So what's your vision statement, sir?
I think I posted it on the assignment page instead of the critique page, but making the ordinary noteworthy.
Okay. Yep. Again, that's one that's very, very popular. It's that's what a lot of us photographers like to do. The camera gives us something unique over a paintbrush or charcoals or pen and ink and whatever. The camera gives us time. Time is the essence of photography. Because we could paint this photograph, I guess. Somebody could sit here and paint it, but they would be painting something that never happened. In photography, time is the element that really makes photography so powerful. Because the moment you click this photograph, that moment's gone forever. It's never coming back. Well, unless we believe in time travel. But we don't, so it's never coming back. So how did you expose this? Because probably high ISO.
Yeah, there's actually two images layered. I mean, it's the same scene, but one shot exposed for the tent, and then the second shot exposed for the Milky Way with some light painting on the waterfall. So it's relatively high ISO, but I got a 5D Mark III, which is pretty sensitive to light.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's 3200 ISO, 20-second exposure.
Yeah. See, back in the day, we couldn't do this.
Exactly. Yeah,
Couldn't get this shot because the stars would move, and we'd get these like swirly little things. Another thing that digital's allowed us to have are shots like this. This is a lovely shot. Personally, I think your tent's a little too bright. I'd take it down just a little bit, or see how this area around it. See right this rock right in here.
Yeah.
Let's lighten that rock up. So because this tent's really bright, it would be lightening up what's around it here.
Okay.
I think that's what's missing for me. The tent doesn't seem to be affecting. And you could pull some of this light forward, some of this red forward here, so you really get a sense that the tent is glowing in this area where it is. Very cool. Lovely shot, Brent. Nicely done. Are you into adventure photography, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and I do like being outdoors. I've done that my whole life, but when you say make photographs, I think doing night photography takes that to a whole other level because there's a ton of planning that goes into where are you going to be to get this shot.
Absolutely.
You're not just wandering around looking for it. I mean, you're studying maps and you're doing a lot of planning before you even leave the house.
Yep. There's an outdoor photography couple that I absolutely love their work, and they work outside all the time, and they're natural light shooters. Pretty much all their work is natural light, and I have had photographers say, "Well, isn't that taking photographs instead of making them because they're not lighting them?" No, not at all. You can make a natural light photograph. The moment you take it, the point of view that you take it, the fact that you scramble halfway up a mountain in the dark to get a specific angle, that's making the photograph. So if you'd like to go see their work, it's Hage Photo, Hage photo.com. Check them out.
And that's kind of what this was. I mean, this was an hour or two of hiking before it got dark to even find this spot, and then schlepping all the gear back in.
Yep.
So.
Well, the shot's a very noteworthy shot. Let's bring this tent down just a little bit and spread it out right here, and you've got a real portfolio piece. Solid. Very solid. Gene, I think we've seen this picture too. And Gene's not here. I know we've seen this picture, so I'm going to move on to the next one. And this is Tracy Sutherland. I think we saw this one too, right?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. I just looked down at the date. Yes, Tracy. Okay, so tell us about this shot.
Well, I've been playing with trying to get directional light in open shade, so that it's just I'm not actually hauling my lights out, but I'm trying to get some shading and shadowing and stuff. And since part of what I do this for is to keep learning, I figured that this was an appropriate piece to show for this week.
Okay. What's your vision statement?
Well, what I wrote in the comments was I continue to learn and grow while making simple, uncluttered connections with my subjects. But when I'm taking pictures, what I tell myself is just, it's simple, really.
There you go.
Because simplicity is really all it is.
There you go.
In my photos, I think.
Shave all the garbage out and just leave what's important.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, photography is exclusionary, not inclusionary. Photography is what we don't show, sometimes more important than what we do show. That's why we have long lenses and wide lenses and normal lenses. We have all the ability to exclude something from the image. And that's what you've done here. You've given us nothing but the important part. That's a lovely shot of the dog. You do have great texture in this dog. So how did you light this?
She's under a hazelnut bush, and there's a light colored house behind me, and it's a bright sunny day, but she's in the shade.
There you go. I love shooting like that. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay. A couple of folks that are on the broadcast I didn't see photographs from. Did anybody upload a photograph that didn't make it here? Okay. Has everybody on this broadcast signed up for my Udemy courses? If you have not, let me know.
I have not gone. Maybe you could tell me a little bit what it is. All I know is the name, and then I'm supposed to sign up. But what exactly is that?
I've got one on using using simple equipment for portraiture, one on natural light portraiture, and a marketing one that's still undergoing some work. And the links with the free codes are on the last emailer that went out. So they're normally $70 or whatever they are over at Udemy, and they're all yours for being a part of this. So if you haven't signed up for them, please do that, because I'm probably going to put the codes out for one more email newsletter and then pull them down. So they're online courses. They are just video courses, so you just take them at your leisure. But once you sign up, you're signed up forever, so you own them and you can download them and do whatever you want. So, anyone else?
Don, do we need to?
Yeah,
Don,
Tony?
can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Do we need to sign up for each course? Is that how
Yes.
it works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the links already have the coupon built into them.
Okay.
And they're on the left side of the newsletter. Just click on them, say, I want to take the course, click on the next one, I want to take the course, click on the next one, whatever. If you're using a light meter and you're not really sure how to use a light meter, the light meter course it's normally free anyway. But I think you'll learn a lot from it. I think you'll learn an awful lot from the courses, no matter what level you are. I've had some working pros take it and say, gee, I never thought of it that way. So, it's my gift to you guys for signing up. So about $200 worth of online stuff. And we've got one in the works called location portraiture that's really shaping up kind of cool. And you'll also get the codes for that. So, all right. Any questions? Not a single question. My goodness.
I have one more.
Please.
I have one more. Don, most of my work is fine art nude, probably 95% of it. So I'm kind of leery about posting any of that.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand that. I'm probably with you on that.
Okay.
Since this is really for commercial, we're going to try to find a way where you can take that vision that you have and find a way to take it into the commercial realm.
Okay.
As you know, I'm sure you know, there's almost no commercial value to it at all.
Right.
Yeah. It's the kiss of death, by the way, for a photographer to show any kind of nude at all in their portfolio, unless it's a beauty portfolio, especially small magazines, that type of stuff. You'd never do that. In the fine art world, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But I want to get you guys so you're making money as a photographer, and that can then finance all the other stuff that you want to do. So,
okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Good. All right. Okay, thanks, folks.
Don,
yes.
Before you go, Don, one quick question. It's on gear. Changing over to a camera with a smaller format. It's a Micro Four Thirds, and
Yes.
didn't know if you had any thoughts on that being viable for commercial photographers.
Absolutely. I've done two jobs on my Nikon V1. Absolutely. One was a print job, one was a web job. Didn't have any problem with it at all. They're wonderful cameras. Some are probably better even than my Nikon V1. I think the Fuji is an excellent camera. I think the NEX, who is that? Sony? Nex 7?
Sounds right.
Yeah. It's the coming trend. I have certain thoughts on things. I don't know if in the next 10 years from now, if we photographers are going to be running around with great big old 4-pound DSLRs around our neck. I really don't see that. I see the ability for software to mimic the full frame effect, the depth of field that you get from full frame. As we know, the sensors are getting better and better and better. Canon just revealed today that their next camera will be a 75 megapixel camera that basically has 3 capture points. So it's going to create a 25 megapixel image 3 times, red, green, and blue. It, if it's this, the technology works as they say it works, it will be an absolute monster of a camera. They're taking 75 megapixels, but they stack on top of each other, resolve, so what you get out is still a 25 megapixel image, even though there's 3 layers caught to it. So you have this giant image that's then reduced to something that's more manageable as a 25 megabyte file can be. I don't know how many of you guys have been around computers for a long time, but my first separate hard drive I ever bought for my Mac was a 20 megabyte hard drive. It wouldn't even hold one file from this camera. So and if they can do it with the bigger chips, they're going to start doing it with the smaller chips. Do you shoot a Micro Four Thirds?
I've been playing with and using more seriously a GH3 Panasonic, and it's a nice camera. It does great video, and it's very, very light, which I like because I tend to move when I'm taking pictures.
Yes, as long as you can provide, as long as you can provide the images that you show. I don't know if anyone cares unless the magazine specifically has a usage thing, like a Cigar Aficionado. Almost all the photographs taken for Cigar Aficionado are taken on medium format because they are so rigorous with their printing. They want big files, so you're not going to go in there. But if you're shooting for an online magazine, or you're shooting catalog, or even shooting a lot of little assignments, like I said, I did an assignment on my Nikon V1, and the client loved it. This little industrial job. Had to go out and shoot some people working. I knew it was going to be all natural light from the nature of the job. The V1 does not have flash sync hole in or anything. I can't hook up a Pro Photo to it, so it works fine for natural light. So I knew it ahead of time I wasn't going to be able to light it. So I said, do you mind if I use a smaller camera? It'll be a little bit lighter and easier for me to climb around. Yeah, we don't care. We're going to use it. And the shots were used in a little brochure, terribly, by the way, just terribly. And they looked fine. I mean, I did my job. Their art director didn't do his, but the check cleared, and you just go, thank you. Have a nice day. That's what we do as commercial photographers. We do only up to the point where we got it. That's one of the things, by the way, that I would always caution somebody. Looking through a magazine and you see a shot that you think, well, that's not the best shot that could have been there. And then you look down at the photographer and you go, what was he thinking? Trust me, he probably thinks it's a terrible shot too. When you shoot for magazines, you shoot a whole bunch of pictures and they get to pick the one they want. Rare beyond rare that we get to go in and say, here's the shot. We can go in with 100 out of the 400 we shot, but we can't go in with one. They're going to take what we did and move on with it. So that's it. That's it for the show. Great show, folks. Everybody, that was fantastic. I appreciate you being here. Any questions? Any last questions?
I have one last question.
Sure.
When there are edits that you suggest, then we work further on the image and then reload it up to you for our book, or is that something we do our own self at the end?
No, if you work on an image that I give you critique on here, email it to me, and I'll get it. I'll either replace it here on the gallery, or add it to the gallery with a note. Okay.
Okay. And does that work as well for missing images if you miss an assignment?
Don't worry about it. If you miss an assignment, just hold on to that image. Yeah.
Okie doke.
Yeah. And we will be setting up drop boxes here in about 2 months. So when we set up the drop boxes, you'll start to put your images into the drop boxes so we can share them that way. And I'll be able to go in. So missing assignments would go into the drop box.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, folks, everybody have a great evening, and I will see you next time. If you have any questions anytime, please do not hesitate to send me an email. I will get back to you faster than you probably expect. So just send it out, and I'll get back to you. We will get things taken care of. Now, Ty was trying to get a hold of me here, and Ty, your emails kept going into this new Gmail tab thing. So it would take me like a couple of hours or a day or so to see Ty's email. I move it over and it still would go back in. So I don't know what was happening there, but I apologize, Ty. Usually I'm right back at folks. So, all right, folks, have a great evening. See you next time.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks.